Aloha, this is your mean squirrel, here with a quick disclaimer. This podcast contains explicit content and parental discretion is advised. So no bitching if you fucking get offended by anything. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first show of 2021.
Yay.
Okay, well, at least we're past 2020.
Yay.
That should actually have more enthusiasm to it because 2020 was absolutely a shit show.
Yay. Was that more enthusiastic? Fuck.
So for our first show of 2021, I figure all we needed was the Bratty Squirrel and your Squirrel Wrangler. Just me and her.
Because I don't like people.
Well, there's that. One thing though, I will mention, and I noticed this one after all this time. We played it this many times. In the content warning, how'd you get nominated as the main squirrel?
Fine, you be the fucking main squirrel.
Oh, not that I mind, because you know what? You're probably the smarter of the two of us. Mr. Lee.
No, you cannot be on my lap. Unless you can say words besides meow.
Well.
And
our first episode, our very, very, very first episode was nothing but Ma Petite making a single meow.
And or else nothing comes out and it's silent meowing.
Right? How many times you walked into the room and seen the there's no way to do this with audio because he literally just opens his mouth and acts like it's the biggest meow in the world and nothing.
Or you get
right. Like it was just too much meow for
his mouth.
Yeah. He can only.
He's trying to Puss in Boots both of us.
He is. And not like they don't manage it many times. Like today they managed to fool me on the food, I think.
Yeah, because you fed them twice and screwed up the schedule about a month ago.
No,
yeah, because I was opening the new cans and then you screwed it up and then it was you.
Right.
And they conned you again this morning.
Because I messed up the schedule again because of Christmas. Now, for Christmas, these were the most spoiled cats ever. They got a whole can.
Well, they had half a can each.
Tuna. Tuna. And they
ate so much that they had the tuna stupids and were just laying out with their bellies just bleh.
And more specifically the skinny ginger one.
Yeah, she looked like a fat shrimp.
More like the way I described it when I first saw it was it looked like, you know, when you see a puppy, like a puppy, where they got those fat bellies.
And when you lift them up, they look like an avocado.
Yeah. that was their Christmas breakfast, and I'm sure their breath was fabulous. I stayed away from it.
Thanks. This jackass brought Ma Petite up to me when she still had her cat food residue on her lips. And he comes up to me, he goes, "Give mommy a kiss," and he put it right on my lips. And I had fucking cat food aroma, cat food oil aroma stuck to my fucking lips all day. No matter how much I scrubbed it, I was like, smell like I'm at the fucking fish market.
And it's bad because she can't smell an ant fart in space. I mean, it's scary. Like, I'll be in the front of the house. She will be 30 feet away. I'll crop dust.
He'll fart.
The front door.
He'll fart. And now our house has we have windows, but they don't open besides the big sliding door, and the fart got nowhere to go but permeate throughout the house. And he don't say nothing. He waits till it hits my fucking nose. What? And then he tells me, "Well, when I came in the door, I had to flavor the air." And then sometimes he denies it's his, but you know when it's somebody's flavor.
I have never denied it. If I actually did the deed, I will admit it. I'm proud of my gas.
I have to call you out on your farts.
Oh, no. Yeah. I may not mention anything. I'll leave it for you to discover because the surprise is the best part.
When I was able to go to the store and I'm in the fucking scooter, I'm at ass level. I'm at fucking flappy pancake ass level. And you let me drive right through it and I'm like, ah!
I spent more than a decade now trying to get you back for that one fart because that was the most acid ass fart.
That was payback for all the fucking farts you were killing me with. There was no shame from day one. Hi. I should have walked the other direction. What's wrong with this guy? Hi, how you doing?
I know you find it sexy.
Oh, no.
She thinks my farts are sexy. That should be a country song. We should change the country song.
She thinks my farts are sexy. They really turn around. It permeates like green funk.
Oh, God.
It's like that green... Remember Bram Stoker's Dracula and that green funk that travels to Mina in the asylum? That's what his farts are like. If his farts had visual, that's what they would be like.
Well, yeah.
And you can only pick like certain air sprays for it because some of them is just enhancing the fart. You know, you get the pumpkin pie ones from Bath and Body Works, and all you've got is a pumpkin pie fart. You've got hot flaming garbage with the essence of pumpkin.
Oh, God. What about the pine one?
It's like someone... I should shove a pine cone up your ass. It might work.
I like balsam. Not up my ass, but I like balsam.
And, you know, squirrels and chipmunks, they like to eat that. So, you know, you could have a Richard Gere moment.
Oh, God.
Come here, squirrely. I got a treat for you. It's Mr. Hanky Pinecone.
Howdy-ho.
Come snack on my poopy cone.
Oh, God. What are we going to call this one? Flavoring the air for 2021?
2020 was... Stop it! Was... What did Jake Tapper say? Flaming hot garbage shit show.
Yeah, that's a pretty apt description. Yes, Mr. Lee.
He's
that's
being...
He does not like... Come. You want to come up?
He's being a pain in the ass.
And then we have the orange one that's been stationing herself in front of the heater.
She's not there. That little stinker is probably on my bed.
Oh, yeah. Well, because she manages to make it so that... both of them.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
That's cardboard and foam.
It is not for you, because if I laid it down, you would lay all over the foam.
and that's a wire. This is the discussions that we constantly have with Kat. And it's funny because this is something that's been ongoing. This is like a family tradition. It started when we first got Mr. Lee. Mr. Sancho Lee came home. And at the time, because it was... The idea was that we got this white fuzzy one to be... to be Brandy's companion animal, to keep her company when I wasn't home, to make, give her a reason to smile.
At the time.
And with Mom at the time. And her mom at the time, we were kind of worried about some things.
Because her last wish was she wanted a cat. She wanted another cat.
Mm-hmm. And
we got him in July. She passed away in November.
Yeah. But we had baby monitors set up in case she needed our help, because she wasn't exactly the most mobile person in the world. Her running was amusing. If you could picture Happy Feet, that was the running action. But here we are at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and we hear the conversation between her mom and Mr. Sancho Lee. And the two of us in the bedroom were just like...
trying not to laugh. Because she's like, Mr. Why are you jumping all over me? You don't belong on the headboard. Get off of the headboard. You're going to knock stuff down. I put that towel on the corner of the bed for you. That's where you lie down. That's yours. That's for you. Why are you climbing up on me? Why are you trying to be on my lap? I'm like, Mom, he's trying to love you. He can love me on the blanket, on the towel.
And this was every night.
Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee.
And of course, now we've got both the cats looking at us like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
And then he fetches paper balls. He used to do it more when he was younger. And I knew exactly how to aim from our room on the wall so that it would bounce into her room. And she goes, stop bouncing that freaking paper ball in my room. I was like, why? You got those handy little grabber things. Just grab it and throw it. He just wants to play with you. You play with him. That's your son. I was like, that's your grandson, fool. You'll never have a human one. in that small amount of time drove her absolutely nuts.
No, to be fair, she loved it.
Yeah,
she loved every second of it. Like those arguments were all the best natured arguments ever.
And then when she could hear us laughing, shut up! I can hear you guys laughing in there. We're not laughing. We're just coughing. Coughing my ass. Your ass is coughing. Shut up! You know what I meant. Yeah.
Flash forward a little over a decade now.
Flash forward 6 months. No, 6 years.
And those same arguments are still happening. Now, her mom passed away just a few months later. But flash forward to now and over the past 5-6 years, those arguments are now happening between Bratty and Mr. Lee.
No, not Mr. Lee.
Oh, and Ma Petite, mostly, yeah. The
Ma
arguments.
Petite, what are you doing? Get down! What are you doing? Stop scratching the wall! What are you doing? Get out of there! You don't belong on the counter. You don't belong on the table. What are you doing? Get off the shelf with the dolls. And then she does FYS, which stands for fuck your shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she can be standing on something, just looking at it and like, well, you look kind of cute, but if I'm gonna continue walking along this path here, I'm gonna have to step over you. So fuck your shit. Poof.
and she does it with intent.
Yeah, and sometimes we go to sleep, we forget a cup out on the TV tray in the living room or whatever. Last night, laying down, all of a sudden we hear boom, boom, boom. I was like, that's your fucking daughter knocking the cup off the damn.
Yep. We have to
no reason.
Yeah.
No reason.
We have to capture. Now, to be fair,
now we have a fortress on the top of our fucking refrigerator. We have a fortress on the top of our refrigerator so she won't go up there.
But to be fair, I sat there and watched as Mr. Lee was sitting on the couch and saw like a pen sitting on the table, and he's like, "Hey, what's this pen? It doesn't need to be there."
Yep, he's just as bad.
He's just as bad.
And then we made the fortress. And somehow this little orange shrimpy ass got over the fortress, and I went into the kitchen to drink some juice, and as soon as I tipped my head back, I had two big giant amber eyes looking at me, because she was like, if I stay really still, mommy's not gonna... It scared the shit out of me, and I'm like, Gregory? Gregory? And my eyes are closed, and I was like, come here. And he's all, why? I'm playing my game. I was like, I don't give a rat's ass. Get in here. And so he comes in here, and I'm like, what? And so I just look at him, and I just turn my eyeballs up towards where she was. Excuse me. And he looks up and starts cracking up laughing. I was like, you know how disturbing that was? I was tipping my head back to drink juice, and I had those big old eyes looking at me. It scared the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, and cats are good at that, though. They're good at where's Ma Petite? Walk around the house for 20 fucking minutes looking for that cat. And the whole time, she's just been sitting perfectly still. Right in front of the TV, like the most obvious place in the world.
Because I end up sounding like I'm talking to a child. How many times did I tell you to answer me when I'm calling for you? Like it ever works.
Yeah, because cats really give a flying fuck when you call them.
And then they come out of nowhere. I'm like, where the fuck were you?
Half the time they were sitting there watching you like an idiot, just walking back and forth.
The best was I was watching one time, and you kept on going, where's my tea? And I'm like, I'm like, dude, she could bite your freaking ankles at this point.
And the thing is, though, she sits there perfectly still. So she doesn't actually make a motion that draws your eye. So when you're walking by, it just like, you could walk by and totally invisible. And then Mr. Lee blends into the shadows. She
blends in with the towel that we have on the floor in front of the heater. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the ones where Greg was, Mr. Lee, it's not sexy time. It's not sexy time. No. It's not sexy time.
The ongoing trying to do something with his empty hair sacks.
It's not time to twerk on sissy fur.
It's the most ridiculous thing to watch.
We've mentioned this many times. Yeah, you guys know the drill.
It's the most ridiculous thing to watch. I mean, if I had to describe it, it would be like the biggest nerd with the least amount of rhythm possible. Like the whitest, most non-rhythm having motherfucker in existence.
And who would probably shoot an oyster in his fucking pants in like 2 seconds.
Shoot an oyster in his pants? Really? Is that a term? I mean, is that oyster slinging? Is that a?
I didn't have time to stop it. It just came out. I can't reel it back in. What you want to do?
That's what you normally do with an oyster.
You know, I always wanted to like chuck an oyster at the wall, like to see if it would stick.
That's a Tourette's.
Or see like if it would like slime down like a fucking slug, or like, you know, remember those jelly crawlers?
The thing is, though, you would actually have to have the desire to waste an oyster that you really want to eat. Like, you have to weigh out...
if you clean whatever surface you're throwing it on, and the object would be to be on the bottom, like
wait for it to
exactly.
Slowly... Kind of like those old sticky...
If it doesn't fall in your mouth, you lose. So you gotta be like...
Like the old sticky hands, you remember those that you used to get in the Happy Meals that you could fling at a window and they would like until they got dusty and then they would just like hit the window and bounce off. That's what
I mean. They used to have little octopuses. Mm-hmm. Not those flingy hands. I hated those fucking things.
Those were the ones that you tried to snag somebody's paper or their card or something like that. You'd sit
Zan, my brother would smack them on my forehead.
Y'all were prime for being mean to each other, though.
Yeah.
Y'all were good at it.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, yeah.
I can remember some of the stories about the shit he did to like a Barbie of yours and then...
You know what it's like? You know how traumatizing it is to come home to find Barbie doll, headless Barbies, and then he tells you to go feed the fish and you see their fucking heads on the bottom in the rocks and their hair just like fucking seaweed.
You know you want to kiss the girl.
He took off my Barbie's head and it's in the fish tank.
Didn't you have shit drop on his head from his door, though?
He would do the shit to me, too. His cross trainer shoes. And back then, those fuckers are as heavy as fuck. And he used to make his door like in a little crack and put the shoe right on top. And he would call me into his room and I'm like, what? He's all, come here. And I just like peek in the crack. He's all, no, come here. I gotta tell you something. Then I walk in the door. The big ass shoe bonks on my head, and those old Kodak cameras that you could just flash the flash, mm-hmm. and he would flash the thing, and you know how sometimes when you do that, it kind of like burns an image into your...
Right.
So he would do that, and I would be like... Oh, but when he used to make me angry, and he used to use his... That's when they first came out with Speed Stick, the gel Speed Stick underarm deodorant for dudes. It was... I would go in there and chop the fucker up, like into teeny tiny bits.
Oh, God.
And then put it back inside. So that when he was getting ready in the morning, and you know how those things where it goes, that
yeah.
Confetti deodorant.
And that's actually showing some age, because like you're talking about when they first came out, that's been a hot minute. And no, I've proven my age just today because I got excited over a sale for a particular kind of apple.
That's how you know you're getting old. When you start getting excited for sales at grocery stores, you watch the news all the fucking time, and documentaries are like, oh yeah, we'll watch that documentary.
Like when did that happen? Like, do you know when that happened, or did it like happen kind of gradually, or?
Well, I don't know. I've been stuck in the house for almost a fucking year.
Well, yeah. You're only like 1 month away from 1 year. Month and a half. Month and a half away. 2
months.
Okay. Yeah, it's almost January. Yeah, month and a half actually.
1 month and a half.
Month? What the heck?
The last time and here's the paper ball.
If we can hear that. That is the...
Oh, Mr. Perky over here. You know, the 12-year-old gets perky. The 12... Oh, get him. Get him, Mr. Hill. He's like, Daddy, that's boring. It just landed right in front of me.
I couldn't see where he was. All I saw was tail.
You're supposed to make it move. You heard him? Yeah, you tell him.
Does anybody else supply the commentary for their animals? I mean, I think that would have to be like a running thing. Like everybody should do that. Like, what would be the dub over for your animal?
I don't know. What did I make? Mr. Lee? Isn't he like... He's either French or the Latin lover.
Oh, hello. You know you want my sexy empty fur balls. You know.
I am the most interesting man in the world.
Oh yeah, no, he gets that one all the time. He's one of the first pictures we ever took of him was because he was straight up doing Al Bundy.
Oh yeah, he used to sit like a human.
And both of them, of course, are choosing now
at least they're choosing now to play and not at 3:00 in the morning.
Right. I'm hoping that they continue to play because...
No, because then they're going to take a nap and then they're going to wake up at 12:00.
Of course.
Because Big Boy is not going to last much longer.
Right. I mean, he only has like an active period of like an hour or two. And
considering his age, he is still quite active for his age.
12 years old now?
Yeah.
11 years old.
12.
12? Mm-hmm. That's right, because one of my buddies, his kid just turned 13, and he was born the year before we got Mr. Lee. Wow.
He's 12 years old. And medium husky. Don't you say
He's
nothing.
He's a chunky butt.
He's not a chunky butt. He's like the salsa bottle. Medium chunky.
Oh.
You said it when you went shopping. Look, here's your son. Medium chunky.
And then, of course, Ma Petite is 6?
Yep.
Yeah, because we got her 1 year before we moved to the 9th Island.
So they're the same age difference of me and my older brother. Hence, that relationship.
Right. You know, and he's like totally randomly mean to her. Like, she'll be sitting there minding her own business and whack. Right on the tail, right on the head.
Well, she deserves it too, because sometimes he goes up to the box of worms. He just wants to sit there right next to her with the box of worms, and she looks at him and she gives him the freaking right hook.
She doesn't get to claim many spots for her own, because he does have, like, dominion in this house. So what few spots...
Because he was the first.
He does. Yeah, because he was the first.
My mommy, you can only love her sometimes. You cannot sleep with her. You cannot cuddle and sleep with her. You cannot be on her lap.
Yeah.
And she wants to. Like, she jumped up the other night and she had this look on her face, and I'm like, I have another side. You can come. But she doesn't. He made it very clear. Like, he gives her the stare down.
Yeah, he does.
And now, mind you, he doesn't have frontal claws, and that's not something we did. He came that way. And so you can see when they really get into it, because I'll find like a scratch or whatever on his nose or on his face, but he'll jackrabbit the shit out of her.
Oh yeah,
because we found some on her.
Not very often, but usually it's a matter of it's a straight up wrestling move. Like, he will pin her down. He doesn't need claws. He outweighs her by like twice.
The best. This was when he claimed his dominance. She was going and going for him. And she jumped up in the air to get him, and he lifted up his front arm, and he freaking arm barred her and slammed her to the floor. He just went BAM! I was like, oh, Mr. Lee, I think we've been watching wrestling a little bit too much. BAM! And she had this look on her face like, oh, okay.
Right. And then, you know, he does random things like that. Like, probably one of the funniest moments. He's had two seriously funny moments from his early years that stick out in my mind. One of them, I think, would have to be the McDonald's sandwich.
That's when we found out. Oh! McDonald's cheeseburger. He beat the shit out of a cheeseburger, and we don't know why.
Like, he was sitting there next to the McDonald's cheeseburger. And just whack.
He was sitting on the bed, and Greg had just walked to McDonald's and came back, and he was taking stuff out because, you know, we were going to just hang out in the room. And he put it on the bed, and he's looking down at it like, hey, what is this? And he was doing like the gangster-lean thing too. And then you know how they lift up their paw really slow. And so, if you don't know anything about cats, males are usually left-handed. Females are usually right.
Right.
Yes. I am a cornucopia of caca that is stuck in my brain.
Specifically around cats, though, because when she got the cats, she researched everything.
I know how to do cat CPR. And so, anyway, so we, you know, he's doing that lift up, and then all of a sudden he's like, pat, 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 pat. He whooped that cheeseburger's ass. And we're sitting there, we're like, after the first one, we were like, what is he doing? And then he kept, we're like, and then
it was like he was playing some kind of fucked up bongos or some shit. Like he was trying to really just like lay into that fucking cheeseburger. And then probably the other one that's stuck in my mind for that cat though is I came into the room and I was like, "Are you being cute for me?" And he owled. That's the only way I could describe it. Like he got so excited that he did the whole like owl head
rotation. Not, you know, like how they move their head around the babies.
Yeah. And it was just the cutest thing in the world. But I mean, like full on head bobbing, wobble side to side, like
wish we had the camera on moment.
All the best stuff happens. Like what do these people do that actually catch this shit? Do they just like permanently leave a camera on and just clip?
I don't know. Like, do they follow them around like fucking cat stalkers all day?
Like, seriously, that's what you'd have to do to get half the shit that I see. Like, cat videos are everywhere. And how hard it is. I have spent of the time that we've had these cats now, we're going on 12 years. I have managed, because like my favorite thing is to see if I can find a cat get a picture of the cat yawning.
I can get them. I get them.
I've managed to get a picture of the cat yawning twice in 12 years. Like,
but now we don't want to take one of Mr. Buzz old and losing his tooth.
That just means he's cute and he's got Heathcliff fangs.
But you know what is funny though? Because one of his bottom fangs came out, and so now his tongue doesn't have like a place to go. So sometimes when he's like licking, he's cleaning or whatever, or he shakes his head, you know, he doesn't have the fangs to keep his tongue in his mouth, and he'll shake his head and his freaking tongue is sticking out the side of his mouth, and he'll look at me and I'm like, oh
yeah, he does the best derpy.
Yeah, he does some good derps. She doesn't derp that much.
She doesn't.
But Mr. Lee, if he was an actual dude, this cat has got the longest tongue I have ever fucking seen. Like, he would be like stud muffin.
Like he could lick the bottom of a beer bottle, like if he was human size.
Like he could lick someone's cervix.
That's like I'm sitting here picturing like.
Please don't picture my cat up some girl's hoo-ha with his sandpaper tongue. Can you imagine all the mucus that
would come? Or more to the point.
Wrong. So wrong.
No, and Ma Petite's thing is the stare down. Like, she'll just like stare at you with those intense amber eyes.
And then she'll give you the stink eye too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, the stink eye for her is like...
And the stare down is with me when she knows she's not supposed to be doing something, and I bring out the water bottle and she knows it's the water bottle, and then she'll stare me down like, you're not gonna shoot me with water, mommy. I know you're not gonna shoot me with water. So it turns into... Wah, wah, wah. But let me tell you, I am one hell of a good shot with a fucking water bottle, because I get her right in between the eyes and she's like, shit!
From across the room. It's hilarious because I'll hear the argument of get down off of there. Stop. Mon Petit, Mon Petit. And then I hear the thump of the cat hitting the ground and sprinting out of the room.
And we also had to change the blinds in our house because she broke them.
Oh, yeah. Horizontal slats on blinds, not a good idea for cats.
They'll break them. So we had to change all of them in the house.
Yep. No, to be fair, I actually prefer vertical slats to horizontal slats on blinds anyway.
You just like slats. You like them slats.
Give me the slats.
Yeah, he has a special slat at the grocery store.
Oh, God.
There's this one slat at the store that thinks because, it looks older than he is, so she thinks he's a silver fox, and she wants to lick his pee-pee.
I think I look pretty damn close to my age. I'm 45 years old. Just because I don't have Asian genes and make me look 20 when I'm 50.
Don't hate. Take care of your skin, fool.
No, it's not even a skin thing.
She wants to lick your pee-pee.
But, no, and it's funny because I've actually gotten to the point where...
Because you're a silver fox. And on your pee-pee she wants to ride. She's gonna ride up on the conveyor belt of Albertines.
Oh, God.
You're gonna teabag her face. Put him right upon her chin.
Man, and
if she gets a rash on your chin, that means you had stumbled that duh.
Oh, God. Yeah, her lyrical skills have always impressed me. Like, she'll turn anything into a song that fits the mode. And years later, the still the best one that she can't repeat is Music of the Night.
That's because he was jealous of my lyrical skills, and he made a bet that I told him, give me any song and I will change it into a song that involves the cats. And at this time we only had Mr. Lee.
Right. And so I said Music of the Night.
So I took like about a minute or two, and he says, "You can't do it, can you? You can't." I'm like, I'm thinking. And I wish you wrote it down.
If I'd written it down, or if we'd managed to get that recorded, I swear, I wish we could record it now. We have the microphones and everything we would need to record it. I would record it and release it for y'all, because this was pure improv gold.
And his face was like, just in awe. And he was just dying.
A jaw dropped on my chest. Well, see, she's impressed me from day one, and just the lyrical skills happened to be...
I didn't impress you from day one. It was fucking loose lips.
Okay. Again, first impressions are always visual. She was the first one I saw. Then I spoke to you. The person you are is way more important.
Still, I'm always the second choice. Always.
Not.
Yes. Skid mark. Didn't really want me. Just used me to get to my friends.
Well, Skid Mark was a douche.
No, he's not a douche because a douche actually gets in the pussy.
That's true. That's true. That is a running line though. So you hear somebody called a douche, and that typically means that they're stuck up on themselves. They're cocky. They're assholes.
I mean, unless she's got the fucking rotten Alloy Canal pussy.
he could be the douche for that. But then instead of being a douche, because that involves being near the pussy and helping to clean the pussy and yeah, not necessarily a bad thing. So skid mark, the nasty shit stained skid mark that every person on the planet will use.
He is the nastiest blown up shark skid mark on the beverages of life.
Oh wow! Like he's gone beyond skid mark to shart.
He's a shart. He's a shart skid mark.
Wow. And now I think we have a description of 2020.
And I really want to say his name.
No, we've avoided saying names all this time.
But he's a shart.
Yeah. And now on a plus side, even the chick he ended up with, it left him at this point, didn't she?
Well, after what should I call her?
This should be good. Her names are always good. No pressure.
No pressure. No. This cunt cake.
I've always loved that.
Is a former friend. And just drama, unnecessary drama, and said some things that I'm sorry, you can never take that back. Wishing someone to have been successful in killing themselves.
Yeah. I will. She'll get hers. Yeah.
Anyway.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
Karma's a bitch. Yeah. And it's funny because I don't regret any person who I used to call friend no longer being in my life. I really don't. I don't miss them. I don't think of them. The only time I ever think of them is with the purpose of discussing for later to remember what not to accept.
And that's him, but with my anxiety and PTSD and all this other bullshit, one of the symptoms is hypervigilance. I have to know, like, let's just say I just check up on people because I don't want to run into them.
Yeah, even if the chance is that you never will, like they could be 5,000 miles away. Chances are you're never going to see them again. But
that's a good thing because I know they're that far away from me.
Yeah. On the off chance that they might be planning a trip to the place where you might be somewhere remotely kind of sort of possibly close to, you want to be like, okay, I'm not going to be there now. You know? Yeah.
And it's kind of a pain in the ass, like when we go, excuse me, if we go to restaurants, if we go to the doctor's office, if we go anywhere, I have to sit where I can see the door.
Actually, that was actually one that ended up being kind of funny because remember when we went to that steakhouse that one time?
Oh yes. and you got out of step.
I sat facing the door because I prefer to face the door too. I like to watch things coming in, things and people. You know, I'm a people watcher.
Yeah, he likes to watch things going in.
I like to watch things.
I like to watch it. Okay, anyway.
But I sat in the seat that was most directly facing the door. And well, in any given situation, when you're at a restaurant with somebody, you face that person. So in order for
and you also let the woman sit first.
Yeah. But the impressive thing is that she walked in and just looked at me.
I stood there and I just looked at him.
Didn't say a word. And it only took like half a second of her standing there. She looked at me and I was like, oh shit, okay. And I moved.
And the waitress. The waitress was like, holy, I can't say it. Holy moly, how did you do that?
How did you train him like that?
How did you train him like that? I'm like, he's not a dog. I said, he knows better.
And the thing is, honestly, it is, okay, I have a horrible memory. I could not...
Horrible. I have to text him my fucking Starbucks order every week.
I can't remember from one day to the next what a given order would be.
I'm surprised he remembers to wipe his ass.
I'm bad. I'm really bad. But there are certain things that to me are just common decency. And...
This is a really boring broadcast, by the way.
Oh. Well, we did go over skid marks.
Yeah.
Sharts. Flavoring the air.
Flavor.
Oh, God. Yeah, and that's how we break into the new year. In fact, we are coming up pretty close on the thing. We're on our hour, and
it doesn't matter how much people say I want 2020 to be over. It's not gonna magically be woo yay in 2021.
Now there are a lot of things that look like they are going to improve in 2021. Let's all cross our fingers. You know, we can have
because
better
I would
health.
like to leave the house. I am immunocompromised that if I was to even I would die.
Yeah.
And everybody has been getting on my fucking not fucking but just certain people in my family, you have to get out of the house. You have to get fresh air. I'm like, there's cooties in the fucking air.
And
do you realize how I'm disabled? Do you realize how much?
and the thing is that there is reasonable precautions that can be taken so that she could leave the house. But if it raises her anxiety to a point where leaving the house would just be a completely unpleasant thing, then what the fuck is the point?
I mean, yeah, I would love to go see and throw peanuts at the freaking chipmunks in the park.
That's going to be our first goal. I'm going to get her so she can walk to the park. That is a 3-minute walk from our front door. And be able to throw nuts at the chipmunks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a goal for 2021. Talk about that's a New Year's resolution right there.
That's not a New Year's resolution. I hate them.
Yeah, no, I've never made a New Year's resolution that I stuck to.
I mean, cause and can you idiots stop fucking flying? Just for 1 month. Stay home. Wear a mask. Stay home.
Yeah. You know, and we typically try to avoid the
I would like to go home. I have not been home. Holy crap, that's a long beard hair. I have not been home in 5 fucking years.
Yeah. You know, I would love to visit Hawaii. My mom lives on the Big Island.
We would have to go separately because the people that I thought could come in and take, just take care of them are allergic. So.
Right.
That throws that out the window.
Right. We would actually have to go separately to different places. And
I don't want to pay to put them in a kennel.
Oh.
He's already been through that trauma.
Yeah.
She never did, but he did.
They were great flyers.
Well, we loaded them up on pheromones.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, folks, that'll be good enough for our first episode of 2021. And
what else did I do this past year? Oh, I chopped my hair.
Yeah.
With all the stress, I lost half, at least 3/4 of my hair.
I still have a leather yarmulke.
He has a leather yarmulke.
I lost like 50 pounds. Ended up in the hospital for a surgery. So, yeah, 2021 can only be better than 2020.
Don't say that. I'm not even saying Happy New Year. I'm going to yell Jumanji.
I will get video of her yelling Jumanji. We'll see if she remembers to do it. It's in the. We're recording this.
You know what's going to suck is that there's not going to be any fireworks because we live close enough to the strip that we can see it. Where we were living first wasn't the best place in the world, but we had the best fucking view.
Oh yeah, we had a great view of the strip for the fireworks, and we have a great view of the fireworks from here too. But there's going to be none, and I think it's really weird because they're still going to close off the strip.
They're still going to close off the strip, and I think a couple are still going to decide to do it.
Probably.
And on Fremont, I think I read that the plaza was still gonna let off some fireworks.
Well, we'll see. Obviously, this is getting released after New Year's, but we're recording before New Year's, so tell us what we missed.
When is this coming out?
This is coming out the Friday after your birthday.
We are not discussing my birthday.
Or is this coming out New Year's Day?
This was supposed to be my big, because after a while you stop having parties because, I had my last big one. My last big one was at 40. And then, nerds, 42, meaning of life. Had to have that birthday.
Right. And
then I said I wasn't going to have one until...
Yep.
I'm going to be...
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You're only 5 years away from the senior discounts.
This is the only reason why he's staying with me, because he wants the fucking 52-cent coffee at McDonald's.
And?
Asshole.
If I was older than you, you'd be doing the same damn thing. You'd be anxiously awaiting the senior discounts that I could get.
Lies. You sit on a throne of lies.
Man.
So I was like, no, I'm not going to make another one until, I turn 50. That's half my life. Well, could be 3/4. I could drop dead tomorrow. But
No, you're not allowed.
So, not gonna do shit.
Yep. We'll figure something out, though. Hopefully next year we'll actually be able to go out and do something. We'll do
But you know what is funny? You know what is gonna fucking suck? Is that it doesn't rain this year. Ever since we moved here, it has rained on my birthday. And we never really got to do anything like walk around or just like sit somewhere and like people watch or whatever.
Right.
It rained every fucking year on my birthday. Watch this one. Not rain at all.
Right. Because we had, what was it, 240 days of no rain?
And, we got 0.03 measured at McCarran Airport.
0.03 inches after 240 days of no rain. Welcome to the desert.
Welcome to the desert. We're all dry and crusty. We all need some lotion.
Oh, goodness. Okay, we gotta end this one, guys. And thank you for listening one more time to us rant and rave and to be completely unfocused on anything. If you do like what you heard, please check us out on our Patreon and patreon.com/The Squirrel Tangent. You can check out our Facebook or just Google us. We'll show up all over the place. You can listen to us and recommend us to all of your friends.
My googly eyes. I'm gonna turn fucking 50. He just stays with me for a little cheap coffee.
Best reason ever.
Bye-bye. Bye, Karen.
Bye,